Round one from Thunderbolt Lanes in Allen Park, Michigan. We're getting set for our finale and all New York battle between the top-seeded Brooklyn Styles and New York City WTT Kingpins. It's time right now for the Geico Championship recap with Randy.
Well, thanks, Lon. We've seen a lot of great action, a lot of them by Hall of Famers like this guy, Norm Duke. Look at him just throwing 10 back for Team Dallas Strikers. Rhino Page doing a lot of the same. They win that first match 278 to 171. Then in match number 2, it's a party at Scroggy's. Mike Scroggin just laying down the lumber. Look at this guy performing brilliantly in the 10th frame. Fagan set up the 10th frame with a strike in the 9th. Scroggins comes through. Rhino Page has a chance but goes through the nose, and that's the end of the day for the Dallas Strikers. Then in our last match, Mike Fagan, 9th frame. No luck, goes through the nose, leaving the 310. He would fail to convert. It was all about the Kingpins, throwing lots of strikes like the one Jurek just threw there. They take down the Motown Muscle. Right now with me, the franchise player of the Kingpins, Pete Weber. And Pete, it was a great win. It was tied pretty much halfway through the match, and then all of a sudden you guys flip-flop lanes. What happened?
Well, I think the key is the right lane, Randy. It's just there's a hook spot right in the middle of the lane, and if you don't get it through that spot, that ball checks and goes right through the nose, as you saw what happened to the Motown Muscle. And, you know, of course, I just threw it bad. So, but, you know, the left lane was pretty good to us. The right lane, that's our best pair. And so, bring it on.
What's the adjustment on the right lane?
Making sure you keep your speed on the ball. If you don't keep your speed on that ball, the ball's going to check real early and go pretty much high, or even Brooklyn like you saw me do. So, you know, you got to keep your speed on it.
How much does winning today mean to you guys?
Well, winning today is everything, you know, because we've worked as a team all week long, and we never quit on each other. So this means a lot to us, and this will put us in the #1 seed for the Tournament of Champions. So that's what we're looking at.
Pete, thanks for your time. Good luck.
Thanks, Randy.
All right. Coming up soon before the big game on Super Bowl Sunday, join us for the Chris Paul PBA League All-Stars. Chris Paul joined by some of the PBA's top pros, some of the biggest stars in sports and entertainment. Blake Griffin, Jalen Rose, Terrell Owens, and a host of others will join the All-Star Clipper Guard at Lucky Strike Lanes in Los Angeles. Tune in 4 p.m. Eastern next Sunday for the 2013 Chris Paul PBA League All-Stars on ESPN. Proved to be a lot of fun. So the step ladder down to its final step. Match number 4 for maximum points. #2 seed New York City WTT Kingpins on the back of their victory over the Motown Muscle will take on the #1 seeded Brooklyn Styles and PBA Player of the Year Sean Rash. 18 points up for grabs for the winner of this 4th match today. The Kingpins will lead us off. Tommy Jones on the left side. Tommy Jones, one of the best bowlers on tour right now from Simpsonville, South Carolina. TJ, PBA Player of the Year back in 01-02. Rookie of the Year that year. Player of the Year in 05-06. TJ shows his team the way to glory.
And Lon, just as I expected, the higher seed Brooklyn Styles gets the choice of what lane they want to start on. They choose to start this match on the right lane. When the two teams flip-flop halfway through, that'll put the Kingpins on the right lane.
Walter Ray Williams Jr. followed by Schaefer, Simonelli, Sterner, and Rash. And you heard Walter Ray with that ominous sound after he let go of that ball.
Spare ball. Pete Weber said it in the interview. There's a big hook spot on that right lane. Players have to figure out how to get it through that spot, keep it on line. You can't just move in and start throwing the ball right because the ball will never recover. The pattern is too long.
Walter Ray converts for the spare. Back now to the Kingpins on the left lane. And now the information flow from Walter Ray to the other 4 bowlers as Jack Jurek takes his position. Jurek, strike in their win over Motown Muscle.
Oh no.
Boy.
Can't do that on the good lane and expect to have a chance when you have to finish this game on the right lane. Jack makes a good shot here and then just gets the bad break of the pocket 7-10, and it's not what you want to see when you're the Kingpins bowling in the title match.
Jurek opens in the second, an early flinch for the Kingpins against the top-seeded Styles.
Speaking of styles, I want you to watch this next style. Ryan Schaefer's got this voodoo roll. It's more of a kind of a spinning roll, and I'm going to venture to say his ball is probably going to read pretty good on this right lane.
Schaefer from Horseheads, New York, 46 years old, 11th pick overall, 10 pen.
Well, he was able to get it through that spot. That's the first order of business on the right lane, and then the second is trying to get it to hit once it gets through that spot. You can see how deep he is, but even though that ball crossed about 20 at the arrows, it only went out to about the 13th board. Not a lot of room being covered. Again, the long pattern, not a lot of back end.
Schaefer has one of the 22 televised perfect games in PBA history. Converts there. 2 spares for the Styles. Styles, though, with the lead after Jurek opened up in the second for the Kingpins. That brings John Zerbinski to the approach.
And John needs to get these guys going right here. Try to string 3 strikes in a row before they have to flip over to the right lane.
Take full advantage, if you can, on this lane. Well, they thought they had it figured out on that left lane, Randy, but overcooked a little bit.
Obviously, the lane is drying up a little bit, and you know, John Zerbinski's a heavy rolling kind of guy. He's got a lot of revolutions, a lot of roll, and that time his bowling ball read it too early. I'll tell you what, but for a guy that's never been on television, he's performed pretty well today.
He is very cool. Kingpins go strike, open, spare.
Bowling third for Brooklyn, Ryan
Down by 11.
Simonelli.
Ryan Simonelli now. For the Brooklyn Styles, 6 years on tour, 1 title. Trying to pick up his teammates, Walter Ray and Schaefer, with a spare each. And Schaefer somehow gets it to work. I'm sorry, Simonelli somehow gets it to work.
A lot of power in this young man. See him, he snaps that elbow and wrist right at the bottom, but his revolution and rev rate and speed is so high, he actually gets that ball to kind of curve a little bit more than where he can actually open up the left side of the lane. We've seen most left-handers going really super straight.
1 strike for each team, bringing Scott Norton of the Kingpins up, and he strikes in the 4th.
Sorry.
Now Jason Sterner of the Brooklyn Styles. Sterner, 29 years old, from McDonough, Georgia, 27th pick overall in the 4th round by Sean Rash.
The first time we saw this guy back at the World Series of Bowling, you know, I was kind of telling myself, Lon, this guy's got a great game. I bet you're going to see a lot of this kid.
That was his first TV final, finished 4th. He's battled injuries during his career. Sterner now in the 4th frame. Nice ball from Jason. A double for the Styles. Styles up by 21 as Pete Weber comes forward, franchise player for the Kingpins. Very serious about this team bowling. We've heard from him talk about his dad and what team bowling means to him. There's Tom Strobel, Thunderbolt Lane's proprietor. They put on a terrific show during qualifying. Everyone loves coming here. Thank you very much, Tom, and thanks and congratulations to all of your staff. Pete Weber. Yeah, he saw it the whole way. A double for the Kingpins.
And Weber, one of the few players that can open up this oil pattern for two reasons: soft ball speed and excessive amount of axis rotation. He can actually get his ball to read coming off the end of the pattern. See how that hand rotates around the side of the bowling ball? Creates the side rotation. Once the ball comes off the end of the pattern, his speed is soft enough for the ball to recover.
His fellow franchise player for the Styles. Current player of the year, Sean Rash. And Rash.
How's that for style?
3 in a row for the Brooklyn Styles. Sean Rash firing up his team. They will now switch lanes, come back, and decide who will be the champion of this PBA League Round 1.